Welcome, everybody, to night 2 of MeanieMania. If my eyes don't deceive me, we actually have the blue meanie in all blue.
Yeah, man. It was playing sports entertainment, so I threw up the sports entertainment plan.
Man, look at, so, all right, the blue meanie is here now.
Yeah.
Wearing
my WrestleMania 15 shirt, baby.
If we can get rid of your lower third. Apparently, we're having all kinds of lower third issues, just like last night. That's all that happens, just lower thirds issues here and there. Man, night 2, we're back here, but oh, dude, look at that shirt. Let's take another look at that again. Yeah,
man, this is the shirt I wore at WrestleMania 15 in Philadelphia.
And fun fact,
yes,
that picture on there, that's you and your mother.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Who is having a birthday today.
Yes.
So
I wish my mother was birthday.
Happy birthday, Dustin Rhodes. And hello, everybody. But hey, you know, if you watched last night or you ever watch The Mind of the Meanie or listen to The Mind of the Meanie, you know it's not a two-man gig here. All right. Well, I mean, it is a two-man gig. And then there's one woman, a Mrs. Meanie. Let's see. Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed it's going to work tonight. Yes! Yay! Mrs. Meanie is here. Or should I say, Elizabeth? Oh, look at that.
We did it.
Looking good. Looking good, Mrs. Meanie.
Mrs. Meanie never disappoints.
Rocking the Miss Elizabeth return at WrestleMania 7 attire.
Just an homage. An
homage.
Yes. I wish it was glittery or
Elizabeth. Yeah, so we're very very excited to have you here.
Yeah, man. It was so much fun. And we figured let's do it 2 nights, man. We had so much fun. Man, let's do it dose time.
If we're being fair, we committed to 2 nights before we even knew if it would be fun. So if anything, this wasn't we're so excited. This was more like, oh, thank God this was fun because we have to do it no matter what. But now we get to feel like we get to do it. Man.
If we run out of things to do, I have instruments that I don't know how to play and puppets and all kinds of fun things.
Nice.
So we'll get through it.
There's plenty of room for activities.
Well, yeah, now that you got those bunk beds, I want to thank everybody who joined us last night and everybody who's joining us tonight. We were overwhelmed with the amount of people that tuned in between Fight TV, YouTube.com/Mind of the Meanie, and Facebook.com/Mind of the Meanie. And we see your comments. Keep your comments coming. Ryan says, "Summon the lady of the pod." We've got, look at this, Mrs. Meanie run-ins. People are very happy. Travis Meanie blew himself. He did.
Yes, I did.
And then this one, Keith, Mrs. Meanie looked so good last night. All right, Keith, there's gonna be some heat here.
Right?
Yeah.
Seriously, I had one of my Halloween costumes. I was Cruella. I was Cruella DeVille, and
nice.
The dress did not fit. It was I borrowed it from a young woman, and it did not fit me. So I was like really out there. And our friend goes, "I forgot that you had those."
Wow.
I know. Usually I dress like a fucking dumpster, but you know,
hey,
mania.
But in a dumpster, as they say, some people's trash is another person's treasure. So you know, you're
oh, my sweet boy.
Yeah.
I'm
how exciting is this though? Night 2, we so nice we did it twice, but they did it twice too in Tampa Bay. The weather was much better. I'm rhyming here and I'm not even meaning to, but the weather was much better tonight, much more cooperative, which allows us to begin this at about 20 after 11 as opposed to nearing 1 a.m. our time. So,
with that said, the wrestling gods are playing a rib because right before we went off there, we had a big fat flash of lightning and thunder that I had to text you. I was like, hey, man.
Listen.
Yeah,
I can't see the TV. And I was like, was that real light? I thought it was WrestleMania. I was like, oh my God, Undertaker.
So I will say Meanie's a little choppy looking. You sound great, but you're looking
you're
a little pixelated, but I'm not sure what to do because Mrs. Meanie is in a similar studio. And oh, wait a minute, look, you're clearing up as we talk about it. So yeah, but you're looking great, Meanie.
Should I redo my entrance? Come in, come out, come in, come out, or am I good?
I say we keep you.
Okay.
I say we keep you here. No,
I'll clear up. Like I said, nature's playing a little rib on us.
Yeah.
The cock kept going out on us, and
yeah, that was a thing too.
Yeah.
Oh, did you guys have issues with your cock as well?
Yeah.
Not downstairs, but upstairs kept crashing.
Yeah.
That's weird because I had issues upstairs, but not downstairs.
Weird.
Yeah.
My cock downstairs was perfect.
Oh,
It
no.
was.
No.
Oh no. Oh no. I thought we were just doing shorthand here for the Peacock Network.
Coupon code.
Meanie 20 on
Yeah.
Manscaped.com.
No, yeah. Use that Meanie 20 at Manscaped. Hey, we've got Chili Willie Jones. William Chili Willie Jones says hello.
What's up, man?
Meanie Chili from the Philippines.
That's ECW original.
Yep.
Chili Will. Yep,
Chili
yep,
Willie. Yep. Chili Willie is here. This is crazy.
Yeah.
What is,
A
man?
mini ECW reunion.
Yeah, look at that. So
Very cool.
Ryan says he had problems in Florida, went out many times. And then Joel, hey Joel Arkin is here. I don't know if we're able to say what Joel does for us over at Fight. But yeah, Joel says who stops Roman, and that's a great way to kick things off here, talking about that main event.
Yeah,
that was awesome, man. That was great.
it's a great main event. Edge still has it, man. Not that he ever lost it or would have lost it. Nature just took him out of the game for a little bit, but some of the stuff they did tonight, I just put on my fan hat. I took off my worker hat, put on my fan hat, and just enjoyed the match thoroughly.
And then literally put your worker hat back on.
Yeah, right. The theme song kick in right as we were starting the show.
You
I was
just
like,
went, and you're blue. That's
yes,
it.
And blue.
Awesome.
Long inside joke. But yeah, man, a lot of great stuff. Probably if I could do spot of the evening, when Roman Reigns went, well, at least for this match, Roman Reigns went for the spear and Edge turned it into a sunset flip, which blew my mind. It was
very
insane.
cool. Very, very cool. I'm going over my notes a little bit here because that's what I do. And by the way, I'm getting word I can say what Joel Arkin does. Social media for Fight. So every time you see one of those cool posts that's putting us over, thanks, Joel.
At least somebody's putting us over.
And any time you see Fight not putting us over, damn it, Joel.
Crack that whip, Joel.
Arkin. So we've got, I was going to say hello to everybody, but man, we've got so many people here.
This is exciting.
Mike, James, Skylar, Travis, so many people here. I'm sorry if I'm missing you. It's going so quickly on my comments because I have comments coming in from all the platforms, all come in at once, which seems like a great idea. Unless you're lucky enough to have tons of people watching from multiple platforms, and we are. Vanessa, a little disappointed. No Gronk. Wait, no, the wrong one came up. That's Skylar just dropping in to remind everyone that Carol Baskin is a husband murdering bitch. # free Joe Exotic.
That's awesome.
Thank you for that. Vanessa says no Gronk. Yeah, where's the pod squad? All right, we're going to stop reading everybody's things, but thank you all for being here. Let's talk about that main event, though. That main event was fantastic, and I love that Roman Reigns held on to the title. Who takes it off him? I'm not sure, but I am feeling so pumped for next year's WrestleMania. I want Roman Reigns versus The Rock. We've talked about this on Mind of the Meanie. Meanie, what do you think?
Hey, man, you know what? I'm a big proponent of when people hold titles for a while. I grew up in an era where, my first world champion was Bob Backlund, and he held the world title for 6 years. So if Roman can go on a nice run as a heel with this title all the way to next year's in Dallas, I believe it's Dallas and then Hollywood, I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think they would hold out to Hollywood,
No.
with The Rock being a Hollywood movie star. But
the way, remember how we booked the territory on Mind of the Meanie?
Yeah.
My idea, at least, was you put The Rock in a main event position there. You have him put Roman Reigns over, so Roman Reigns is still champion. Building him, and that's Rock's official retirement. In an actual match, and then the following year in LA is when Rock goes into the Hall of Fame. That's just how I would book it.
Yeah, that's very wise, very wise. Yeah, but yeah, I would love to see Roman going to. I've always been a fan of Roman, even when he wasn't in favor with the WWE universe. But it's good to see that they've turned him heel. Hopefully, he has, like I said, a nice run with that title. There's a great moment on Twitter before the main event, earlier in the evening, where the popular website Brazzers tweeted at Paul Heyman, "Find a woman who looks at you the way Paul Heyman looks at Roman Reigns," and Paul Heyman retweeted, "My life has been made." So
wow,
but Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman, perfect combo. Heyman goes back with the Samoan dynasty, and if they can hold on to that title for a year to Dallas, that would be pretty cool.
I could visualize like a Roman Reigns Rock, where Roman gets the win over the Rock, but they end up hugging at the end, and like Roman, and then you've got that choice right there. Is Roman now did he just become a babyface in this match, in the Rock's last match? Did Rock just anoint him now? He held this title as a heel the whole time, and he finally felt, after defeating the Rock, like he is seen and is the head of the family, so to speak. Or in that moment, does he then take the Rock out and solidify himself as the biggest heel in wrestling today? There are a lot of possibilities. Or does he end up, wrestling Eric Rowan like The Rock did last time they were there? So, anything can happen in WWE. Ryan McCusker says McCuskers misses you guys.
Dude, I've been dreaming about you guys. Like, legit, I've been dreaming about the McCusker boys. I miss you guys. I love you guys.
I love you, Ryan.
They have a rock and roll podcast that is so good. I love it so much.
Plug it.
What is it? Prisoners of Rock and Roll. Go look for them.
If you're a fan of rock and roll, go listen to Prisoners of Rock and Roll.
All of the stuff that they talk about are all conversations that we have all had sitting at the end of that bar with them.
Well, if you're a fan of Mind of the Meanie, you've heard McCuskers mentioned many, many, many times. And I look forward to
have our first event there, hopefully.
That's what we want to do. Our first actual live show. We want it to be at McCuskers. Mr. McCusker, I don't know if Meanie had mentioned that to you or not, but there you go. That's something we've been talking about. Okay. But yeah, so, okay, let's start. Before we get into all the matches, Mrs. Meanie, top five attire for tonight.
Okay.
Besides yours, because you look awesome.
And besides Meanie's is just popping off the screen here. I am loving this.
I'm so glad that I let him borrow that.
Can I tell you, I had posted that picture. So this is like a really cool moment for me, because I posted that picture about how I was watching you from afar back at WrestleMania 15. Look at that.
Oh, yeah, no, literally far away. Yes.
Yeah, literally far away. I was up in like one of the box seats, like where you have the box, but then you have like the seats that come down in front of it. So I'm sitting there. What's that?
Did you have catering?
No, it was actually kind of awkward. My friend John's dad got us the tickets because he was given tickets from something for work, and there were these box seats there. But I was 15 years old, so I wasn't really able to take advantage of some of the things that they're offering in that box. But it was a great time, lots of fun. But if you would have told me that 22 years later, God, if you would have told me a second ago that it was 22 years ago, I would have said you're crazy. But 22 years later, that I'd be able to do a MeanieMania post-WrestleMania show with you wearing the same shirt that you were wearing, unbelievable. I'm wearing the same underwear, but for you to be wearing the same shirt, so yeah, I'm going 22 years strong, but I might take it off next week. Anyway,
Mrs. You guys are interrupting my segment.
Sorry, Mrs. Meanie. Sorry, Mrs. Meanie.
Thank you.
Sorry, Mrs. Meanie.
So actually, I looked at my notes and I only wrote Nia and Shayna. I just wanted to talk about how I wanted to ask, because I'm not in the loop. I never am. I'm so clueless when it comes to this sometimes. I do follow Nia. I love her so much. And she's all like way into the TikTok stuff like the kids are. I'm not, but I see that on like Twitter and Instagram and everything. So I know that they've been a thing for not too long, Nia and Shayna. Have they ever had cohesive gear yet?
I don't believe so.
No, I don't believe so.
That's what I wanted to talk about. I'm so excited that they have cohesive gear because it means they're like an official thing now.
Yeah.
Yes, I love that.
They were trying to put together, and like Nia's the goof, and Shayna's like, I'll murder you. I love it. I love it. I'm so happy that they're cohesive now.
Mrs. Meanie, Joel Arkin here, Randy Orton in the new white attire. What'd you think of that?
Randy Orton had white attire?
He had white attire.
Dude, I thought
it looked awesome. Honestly,
I was looking at the other half of that because I like the spooky kids. I want to talk about how, thank you for reminding me. I want to talk about, I love the whole fiend thing. I love the whole spooky thing. I like the Alexa Bliss creep thing. I like that. I do not feel good when I see an adult woman dressed as a kid. I like it. I get it.
I love it. Yeah, it's creepy, right?
I know. No, it's gross.
But
do you understand what I'm saying to you?
I understand what you're saying.
Woman, it doesn't make me feel good. I get it.
But it's not supposed to make you feel good. It's supposed to be this creepy thing because she's like this little kid in a playground, but she's not a kid. It's really disturbing. It should be. No, if it's not disturbing to you, then it's a whole other situation.
I don't want adult men looking at an adult woman as a child. It's gross.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. And if we had a way to police all of that, I mean, I'm all for policing it.
I don't like it.
Let's move on. Okay.
Period.
Let's move on.
I like the weird costume change. I don't get it. It was gross. I like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
The leather.
The Papa Shango gimmick down the face.
The Ultimate Warrior Papa Shango bleeding gimmick.
I don't get it.
Hey,
that was fun.
So what's number 5 for you in gear?
I don't know.
You don't have like an order?
No, there was just I completely got sidetracked by life.
All right, so Nia and Shayna, we like that.
Kept going out and all that good stuff.
Right. So. No, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. I did notice Edge had that white gear, and I did make a comment about how Edge and Daniel Bryan, it was a battle for the maroon tights. Yeah. Because that's Daniel Bryan's thing, but now it's Edge's thing.
Yeah, it was his color. Now Daniel Bryan just has little leaves.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I liked Matt Riddle's his Evel Knievel kind of away team.
USA inspired.
The Evel Knievel. It's the
absolutely. That's what the Evel Knievel, the kind of X'd with stars. Yeah.
But that's a great observation that it was the Evel Knievel away team, like you just said. That you just popped me with that.
It was
because it's the inverted colors.
The Chase variant. Yeah.
Like where the Eagles wear the green on the road and white on at home kind of thing, you know.
And don't think it's not going to be a Chase variant. It certainly will.
Absolutely.
Some really cool stuff though. But I want to start. Let's start with the first match. since this is a post-show analysis, post-show extravaganza, as they say. The Fiend going back to normal. Little effect that took him from burnt Fiend back to normal Fiend. Now, obviously, if I had to guess, it's because he couldn't work in that other outfit. Totally understand it.
Yeah.
But why did we even bother bringing him back looking all charred and burnt? Like, it was that was cool, but I feel like they could have gone to the similar type of mask that he was wearing tonight, but having that look kind of burnt. Like, it didn't have to be the whole head thing, but I didn't think it had to go 100% back unless we're just kind of doing that, his magical power has brought him back. But it kind of like, to me, I've loved the supernatural aspect of it. So if anything, it took me out of the supernatural.
The weirdo stuff. I like the Undertaker was the only, not the only one that ever did that, but like you suspend disbelief for somebody like the Fiend.
Well, I know Dave Meltzer says that it ruined wrestling.
Right, but you have to suspend disbelief.
Yeah,
you have to a little bit.
I love it. The Undertaker, all the Undertaker ascends to heaven and all that stuff. I loved that as a kid. So I try to appreciate, like, the Fiend, I think is cool, but then I try to think of it from a kid's point of view. And like I'll tell you, my son, who's going to be 4 years old this month, over the last year, I've given him some of like old wrestling figures or whatever. His pick is, the Blue Meanie obviously is his favorite, but the other one that he went to was Kane.
Nice.
He said Kane has powers, and Kane, because of how he looked, because of the presentation. That is what he was drawn to. Stone Cold Steve Austin, biggest star in the history of wrestling, but my son didn't look at that Stone Cold figure and go, that's my top guy right there. No, and so there is something to be said for the visual, for the that larger than life appearance. But I
also, the Fiend is working with Tom Savini, master of horror movies, and the Fiend is pretty much a modern day horror movie character brought to life in the world of sports entertainment, pro wrestling, where Jason might kind of die in the one movie and then they bring him back in the next movie, and all the
which is cool.
Yeah, all the blood and stuff from the previous movie. I guess he went and got it laundered somehow for the new movie. So
to
me, it's kind of along those lines.
But I love evolution of the character. I would have loved to have just seen it a little different than it was before all that. Because it's the time, like the Undertaker. Undertaker gets put in the casket and ascends and comes back wearing purple. He gets buried alive and he comes back with the teardrop looking like a leather-clad bat.
Just hit the casket.
That was her favorite part.
Yeah. My favorite part was when Michael Cole said something along the lines of like the box-like structure.
Mrs. Meanie, you made a reference to that.
Because I've never seen a Jack in the Box before.
He either didn't know what a Jack in the Box was, or a box-like structure. It was literally a box.
Yeah,
it's literally a box.
Where's the like part come in? I want
it's like a box in the sense that it's a box.
Well, I in my mind, and trying to put myself in that position, I wonder if Michael Cole was going, is the term Jack in the Box trademarked, and am I allowed to say that?
Oh, that's smart. Smart thinking.
That's where I would be thinking if I go. I think he was afraid to say this Jack in the Box, and then like
Band-Aids and Jello. Oh my God, are we gonna get fired?
Yeah, kind of like, is that a trademark? Can I say that? Will they have to edit it off TV if I say Jack in the Box?
That's interesting. I didn't think about that. Well, apologies to Michael Cole. I take back all the things I yelled at the television.
Hey, we did the same thing, but then I dove deeper into the mind.
I've literally never seen one of these toys that everybody has owned once in their life.
So before we even got to that match, I do want to say one other thing with Orton's attire. This was the first time, save for one other time, he tried something different for like a week or two about 10, 15 years ago. But Aside from that, this is the first time that I remember seeing that gear. It said RKO on the back instead of Orton, which was cool.
Well, he's thinking of that action figure money.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
and that's when that's when WrestleMania rolls around. That's the time to do something different, something new. So when they put out that WrestleMania line of merchandise,
if they ever make a WrestleMania, WWE ever wants to do now that they're doing the retro figures again. I mean, I know we've got our Cella toys right here, but I think a retro blue meanie from WrestleMania 15 wearing that might be the answer.
I'm available.
Yep. So, for anyone who's wondering, who's not familiar with this is from the Mind of the Meanie 2-pack, available now outside the U.S. at cellatoys.net and inside the U.S. at mindofthemeanie.com. Comes with me.
I come with my own co-host.
Yes. That's the thing. My accessory is the removable microphone. Your accessory is me. It shouldn't even be a 2-pack. It should have been a single pack of the Blue Meanie with co-host.
It's an in-action figure.
Yes. Hulk Hogan, and speaking of wearing attire, Hulk Hogan came out with Titus O'Neil for night 2 of hosting, both dressed as pirates.
Not awkward in one bit.
No, and definitely not when Titus O'Neil said, Hulk, you can't say things like that. That definitely wasn't awkward. Every time Hogan spoke, the fans booed. Every time Titus O'Neil spoke, they cheered. They were
flooding in cheers, though, which I made a joke that like they've been flooding in, crowd noise so long that like, hey, they got good practice because
they sweetened it a little bit.
You could tell they were trying to hide it.
Yeah, no, I think the Hulk Hogan thing isn't as over as it used to be. So yeah.
It put a gross taste in people's mouth. I think people are like, no, thank you.
And that's kind of, I mean, it was a little like on the nose too. Him co-hosting with Titus O'Neil.
It's fine. They're friends. Look at their.
It's like look, Hulk Hogan. He has a friend who it doesn't. I think we all kind of saw through it. But anyway, sorry, brother. I did like when Hulk put over 83 weeks though in the segment with Eric Bischoff. Let's go on that boat for 83 weeks. Okay, so Orton picks up the win because of some weird distraction with Alexa Bliss. So curious to see where that goes. Let's talk about the tag title match. Tamina and Natalya versus Nia and Shayna Baszler. We already talked about Nia and Shayna kind of matching, which was nice.
Yes.
Yeah, they've never been cohesive before. I'm so excited.
I know Mrs. Meanie's a fan of Nia Jax. Meanie, it was Joel Arkin went on Facebook or on Fight's social media and said that we will pull no punches. That is something that he said. Your honest opinion on that match and on Nia Jax's contributions to the match?
It was what it was. It served its purpose. I like Nia Jax as a person.
I don't know her as a person, so I can't judge her as a human being. I can only judge her for her character, and I can judge her for her in-ring ability.
And as someone who is of larger size like myself, I always, root for the folks that, people say, oh, well, you can't do that because you're too big. She's a former model. She was she was big in the modeling field when most people said she couldn't. She came over to wrestling. She could have rode the coattails of The Rock and said, oh, well, my cousin, I'm coming from the royal family. No, she went to the Performance Center and started from the ground up, and she worked her way up the ladder. I like her. I have no ill will. The match was good. Again, to me, it's like weird casting because I would think Nia should be with Tamina since they're family.
They definitely did not gel as opponents, in my opinion.
They had very similar gear as well, even though it was different colored. I'm telling you, Nia was in velvet, but like they really put those girls in leather. They're like, here's the heel, put them in leather.
Yeah.
So my feeling on Nia, and again, not the human being, not the person.
Right.
I don't enjoy her in the ring.
Okay.
She seems, and I understand she's big, and I get what you're saying. You know, some people, they look and you say, you know, you're bigger, you shouldn't be able to do that. Here's the problem, though. There are some bigger framed people who can do it when people say you shouldn't be able to do that. And then there are some who just can't. There are also some who are smaller who can't. The thing is, she is consistently, in my opinion, slow and sloppy with a lot of what she does. There was a crossbody situation where she just, you know, Natty is there like waiting to catch her, and it was horrible looking because she wasn't in the right position. There were a lot of weird, awkward things with Tamina and Nia. Tamina, they keep going, Tamina's never looked, it's like Tamina's never looked so good. And it's like, they're literally telling you to like they're telling you like, yeah, Tamina's great in hopes that you won't realize that she's not that good of a wrestler. And that's okay. Like, here's the thing. I'm not insulting them. I'm not saying they're not trying really, really hard. I'm not saying that I would even do a better job in that ring than they did in that night, that I wouldn't blow spots left and right. What I'm saying is, there is that little part. You said she didn't ride The Rock's coattails, and she did not. But I sometimes wonder, she's in no way related to The Rock. Is she still there? Is she where she is? You know? Or are they sending her back going, we need you to train more, we need you to do more, you know?
I'll say this much. I liked her way better when she was in NXT. She was more of a monster in NXT.
Yes.
And
I think she worked that style better.
Yeah, she worked that style better. She had maybe she had better producers. And then again, a lot of times it comes down to the producers. Well, I'm not throwing the producers under the bus, but sometimes, you know, the right producer makes them a talent, you know, and I think maybe she had better producers in NXT. I'm a WWE diehard till the day they throw dirt on me, because WWE was the bug that bit me. They got me hooked on professional wrestling. That said, I still kind of prefer the NXT product.
Well, anyone who reads wrestling news knows that the Blue Meanie says NXT is the superior brand. But no, I think their product's fantastic. What?
I said they were that superior brand, and they won the ratings that week. So
because everybody was like, well, I got to see what Meanie's talking about. I believe that. No, and that's it. I don't want to come in here. I want to be positive. I don't want to just, crap all over Nia Jax. I just, it's WrestleMania and you're looking at stuff, and I would love to just go, well, it's WrestleMania, there's nerves, but this is the same thing you see every week. And
there's a lot of things I could pick apart.
Yeah.
Maybe a lot of things that fans wouldn't notice, and I don't want to be the one to put it in the fans' head if they didn't notice it. You know what I'm saying?
That's why I'm here.
Like the one thing that drives me nuts is like when the guys who are guardians of kayfabe explain how somebody's breaking kayfabe, which is in sense them breaking kayfabe as well. I think
like Dave Meltzer saying that the Fiend ruined the business in his Wrestling Observer newsletter. That explains where he goes, the Fiend, and then says Bray Wyatt's shoot name. So I get what you're saying completely.
Like the whole thing with the whole slapping in the leg. There's people who say wrestling's dead, kayfabe's dead. Man, I hate when they slap their leg when they throw a kick. Well, most people don't notice that they're slapping the leg, and you just exposed the business yourself, Captain Kayfabe.
Did you see though? There was an Instagram post by the person who did the America the Beautiful last night, not tonight. Last night, she had a little Instagram post, and in there was a video where she was talking to Hulk Hogan, and then Hogan, I don't know what the proper term is, molested her. I don't know what. You watch it and figure out for yourself. But I'm just saying, it's 2021. Maybe you don't go. So here's the thing: you go in for the handshake, and you pull him, and then pulls him and puts his arm around her to take a picture. I'm just saying, Hogan, you're not helping yourself. But anyway, I
thought you were going to say, did the Andre check the oil, but
all right. Hogan's doing a lot better than that. Oh, I put my thumb. All right. So, anyway, moving on.
So I'm just gonna go now.
No, you
No, I'm leaving. See ya.
Oh, we've lost Mrs. Meanie. Mrs. Meanie's upset. So, anyway, we move on to Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. What'd you think of that match?
I thought it was good. I guess the only big disappointment is Kevin Owens didn't get to jump off the pirate ship as he was been for well over a year.
I think at that point we had to have known it just wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, logistically it probably wasn't going to happen. But still, a mean dream.
I do want to say the point that I brought up that Hogan backstage thing that was on Instagram is because in that video, there's a big sign. They're backstage right by the entranceway, and a giant sign in the video that says, "Do not slap your thigh when kicking." And it's just like, it's just brutal to see that. And then you see so many people did it anyway. And it's just, why is that even up there? You just say it one time. You don't have to have a freaking sign. It's just stupid. But anyway, I'm getting hot over here.
There's rules that they pass for a little bit, and then they're kind of enforced, and then it kind of goes away and goes back to normal. So
yeah, but having that sign all over social media, kind of worse than having them slap their thigh in the ring.
Yeah, that's on whoever decided to take a photo of that sign and put it.
It was the person who sang. Well, someone did it a while ago, and then the person who sang "America the Beautiful" posted that video. Definitely check that out. But no, I thought it was a solid match, which was no surprise. And a decent stunner. What's his name? Logan Paul took a nice stunner.
Yeah, it was. It wasn't quite Vince McMahon and Madison Square Garden, but it was
going stiff and like a fish out of water at the same time.
Yeah, just like a fish right into the boat, kind of flopping around, kind of thing. But it wasn't too bad. He did well. Of course, when it comes to the celebrities, to me, Bad Bunny was the best celebrity of the. Probably ever. And, he did really well last night, Bad Bunny. But Logan Paul, he did all right.
Logan Paul did what he was supposed to do.
Yeah.
He wasn't supposed to do the same thing as Bad Bunny, and Bad Bunny really did do a terrific job.
Yeah.
I did like that. Do you like the little commercial they had where Triple H passes off the microphone to him to plug?
I thought that was really cool. That, when I saw this, like you're about to explain. I'm sorry, I stepped on you.
No.
Triple H and Bad Bunny are on a back road somewhere, and he says, you did a great job at WrestleMania, but now it's time to do what you do, and handed him. I thought he gave him the money in the
bank briefcase, and he cashed in.
And basically, it was a microphone, and he told him go on. It reminded me of like a superhero movie, like after the credits roll, and there's this super secret scene that you have to wait through the credits to see. And I thought it was pretty cool. I think they should have kept that Bad Bunny's tour dates a little bit longer, but
on the screen there.
Yeah, they showed his tour dates.
I'm like, okay, we got I think I see Barclays somewhere in there, and that was it. Yeah.
I guess they figured eventually we'll get the pause function down.
I mean, the thing is, though, in fairness, for me, like, I'm looking at that, and what am I looking at? I'm looking for PA, NJ, NY. Those are the things I'm looking at. So I'm scanning very quickly, to see if it's in my area. So I guess maybe that's their thought process. And, if you're going to see Bad Bunny live, you're not going to, look, you're going to follow him enough to know what's going on. You're not just going to be like, man, well, that was a one and done. I guess we'll never know when he's coming to our town.
There's this great new invention called Google.
Yeah. From Google to Riddle versus Sheamus. Riddle had his backstage segment with Great Khali and Rob Van Dam. Was kind of fun. Riddle and Sheamus. What did you think? I thought it was a decent match. I thought there were some low points, but some really high points as well. Thank God nobody got severely injured, there was a scary moment there where Sheamus kind of slipped off the ropes. And
he was going to do the white noise.
White noise, yeah.
Off the top rope and just lost his footing a little bit. I don't
thank
know.
God he's as strong as he is. He pretty much just held on to Riddle, which was nice. Because, God, that could have been a disaster. But Riddle tried to kind of take a shot at Goldberg, and unfortunately it didn't really work because he tried to do the jackhammer, but had trouble getting, had to reset Sheamus. And that's not, when you're trying to take a dig at someone, probably not the best thing. But
well, maybe it's a note to Goldberg jackhammering Undertaker.
He was like messing with him?
maybe like, you know.
Yeah.
I didn't kill this legend.
Oh yeah, look how I was able to hold him up and place him down safely. Maybe, but
the armchair quarterbacking that one. I don't know. It was a good match.
We're just having fun here, just talking about, just observing things in a post-show extravaganza.
Yes,
but it was a good match. What about that finish though?
Oh, that finish was great. Anytime you can hit a finish out of, Randy Orton, out of nowhere.
Yeah.
He hit the brogue kick while he was doing the moonsault, and it looked like he clipped him a little bit because Riddle got that bloody lip.
I think there's maybe even the tip of his boot kind of caught him upward.
But
that looked good.
They had that nice stare down moment at the end.
That stare down moment showed you that there was more to come between the two of them, but it also showed you, I looked at that and that was real. Riddle bleeding. You look at that and you're just like, it took the booking idea out of my mind. It was no, he just kicked him. Look, he's busted open. He kicked him and pinned him, done. And I love that when you can, Mrs. Meanie was saying about suspending disbelief.
Yeah.
I love when you can do that. And I mean, I'm sure he would have loved to being able to go down without actually getting kicked in the face and bleeding. But, but hey, it was awesome. It was entertaining.
And knowing Matt, he probably did not mind one bit. And I think he was doing his best to try to make it bleed even more.
Oh, he was he definitely was, which was great. Yeah. Which was smart.
He did the Mick Foley beyond the mat, add a little spit to it, and make more blood routine.
I want to go back just for a second to talk about Sami Zayn's character.
Absolutely.
Tremendous character development for him. I do wish that they would change his music. I love his music. But when the crowd was all singing it, it doesn't match him anymore. He's completely reinvented himself. And I would love to think that one day he could go back to that music and back to as a face, But he's really reinvented himself. And I'd love to see something that fits this character a little bit more than
I like the part where they show him with the strings and working out the conspiracies because
it's awesome.
It made me have a little flashback to Always Sunny in Philadelphia with Charlie Day when he's is doing a similar thing. But he's
got the cigarette and he's kind of
that's what you got to do with your character. You got to evolve if you don't want to go stale.
Yeah, great evolution in his character. Just the music, which isn't really his say. So, it's just something that I'm sure they'll get to eventually. Moving on from that, we had the Intercontinental Championship match, Biggie versus Apollo Crews. Talking about character development. Apollo has now developed an accent. He's speaking with his native accent. But I like what they're doing with him, man. I like it. New Intercontinental Champion. What's his name debuted alongside him? The guy that we've seen on television before during the
Raw After Dark.
Yeah. But nobody knew who he was tonight.
And I believe he was in T-Bar's group. I'm drawing a blank.
Oh yeah.
Was he in Retribution?
Retribution? I don't know.
I think he might have been one of the Retribution guys too, as well.
I feel like Retribution kind of has died out.
They're done. Hence why we saw the new guy, and probably why we'll see a lot of those Retribution guys going to either back to their old characters,
or something
new, or evolve into something new.
Yeah, and I'd like to see that, honestly. I really would. Yeah. But I thought that was great. Biggie, man, he's a star. He is a star, and star is on the rise.
The only bummer about that was, again, it was his hometown, and you would hope he would get that hometown win. But WWE's infamous for saying, "Screw your hometown."
Yes.
But your hometown doing the job.
Travis says, not sure what a drum fight is supposed to entail, but they didn't do anything involving a drum. So I think the thought process behind that was it was like supposed to be like, I don't know I don't know. It was supposed to be like, cause he's Nigerian and I don't know.
Maybe a battle of the bands breaks out and they have drums battling drum solos.
But hey, I'm just happy Apollo, I thought from the day he debuted, I was like, this guy's got it. This guy could really be something, and it just didn't work. And I think now we're seeing a side of him we've never seen before, and I love it. I love it. Now he's the Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah, well, I like what they're doing with Apollo too. A tremendous athlete, $1 million look, great skills, but he was missing just that one thing. And now they kind of reversed Kofi with him, where he didn't have an accent. Now he has an accent. They did the reverse. Kofi started with an accent, lost his accent, but it worked. It works for me. Just.
Well, I like the fact that he's more or less like, I had to speak with this American accent,
right?
Try and fit in whatever. But no, here are my real roots. Here's where I come from. I'm descendant from royalty, and it's cool. It's definitely cool. And it gives him something different and unique. All right, let's talk about Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. What do you think of that match?
I loved it. Of course, as Asuka was doing her introduction, I posted a photo of her in BWO gear because WWE had done a photo shoot of WWE wrestlers as ECW originals, and she was chosen to be the BWO. And through that, we've kind of become Twitter buddies. So I was rooting her on. I would have loved to see Asuka win, but I am not disappointed in the least that Rhea Ripley won. Rhea Ripley is a breath of fresh air in the women's division. The women's division's fine, but you throw in another character, to freshen up some matchups and stuff like that, and she has the ability to go.
And she's unique. She has a unique appearance, unique style, and
she's okay. I'm going to show my age here, but she's a throwback to a wrestler from back in the 80s. There's a woman's wrestler named Mad Maxine. Really tall woman, mohawk, and kind of identical. If Rhea Ripley was a time traveler, she could have been.
Interesting.
Mad Maxine was a product of Moolah's camp and stuff like that, and I've recently become friends with her on Facebook. But same build, kind of like a rocker look, punk rocker look, and she's definitely unique. She stands out.
When she held up that belt, my instant feeling was that looks like it was made for her. I've always felt that with certain ways. Classic Intercontinental Championship belt. I know some people say, Macho Man, all that stuff, but Mr. Perfect. That belt was made for Mr. Perfect. It looked like it was a part of him. I always felt the Big Eagle belt looked like it was made for Triple H, even though Triple H won it years later. It looked like it was made from Hogan in the Winged Eagle. Even Brett in the Winged Eagle, I felt,
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the Big Eagle until Triple H started wearing it. Oddly enough, that you say that.
It just looked right. And that was the thing, something about when she held that up, I was like it didn't look like she was carrying around a prop. It looked like, so I don't know if she looked good with the belt or the belt looked good with her or whatever it was. But I was digging it, and I was like, hey, let's.
Sometimes people make the belt.
Yeah. Yep. Kind of the way I think it should be, right?
Yeah.
But great match.
A little programming note. If I happen to cut out, it's just there's a really big thunderstorm going on right outside my window. I don't know if the microphone's picking it up, but I feel a little rumble below my feet.
Oh my! Well, we can't hear it, but at the same time, we're that's fine because we're just going to take one more dive into the main event. Before we do though, Travis asked a question here. says, do you think Becky will show up on Raw tomorrow to challenge Rhea?
I had made the prediction that I thought, of course, we're always on time with Mine and the Meanie. So tomorrow morning's Mine and the Meanie was dropped 6 a.m. wherever you listen to podcasts. I had said I had thought maybe Becky would show up at one of these nights because of her social media posts. But like they say, the Raw after a WrestleMania is always the rowdiest one. So they always have the biggest surprises as well.
I mean, I feel like that would be the time to bring it back. But I'm pretty sure they're just going to be in front of the freaking Thunderdome, which is tough.
If they were thinking maybe they could have done a third night at the stadium.
Not even that. Couldn't you just take, so you had 25,000 people each night. So you go into the Thunderdome, which I believe is going to be somewhere else.
The baseball season's underway now.
So they're going to put the Thunderdome somewhere else. But why couldn't you do the Thunderdome with the screens and everything like that and bring in 2,000 people?
Yeah.
So you're getting an actual sound. So you're getting actual fans. Like, I understand we're enclosed as opposed to outdoor, but I don't know. It just seems like we're backtracking. This felt like such a celebration of, okay, we're getting back to things. And I don't expect, let's get back to packing 15,000 seat arenas. Right. But I do expect that, hey, if we could do it tonight, maybe it's time to start moving forward here. Maybe it's time to say, well, we still have the Thunderdome, but we're going to also include 1,000 people. We're going to have 500 people all just sitting around, one side. No one will be on the hard cam side, like there's, I don't know. Andy Slichter says, Lashley looks great with the WWE belt as well.
He does.
Well, he said best, but it's all right. I went back and forth. Do I put you on and put you on blast for a typo? Or do I, but people get to see your face on there? Or do I not put you on? So I went with that. But yeah, so then at that point, we're at the main event, which we talked about in the beginning. Slichter says, damn autocorrect. No, but look, I felt this main event was super strong. And to me, if I had to look at it, I think and I'm not talking about the main event. I'm saying as a whole, I think night 2 was actually the better night than night 1. What do you say?
Yeah. I mean, it really flip a coin, but I like the way both nights ended. Really.
Oh yeah.
Last night was emotional, a very emotional ending. Tonight, it was last night was kind of like Star Wars, and tonight was Empire Strikes Back with the heels winning at the end of the evening, so to speak.
So I noticed something though. They had their plug for WrestleMania, and they said the month and the year, but they did not say the day. However, when they first made their announcement, they did say the day. And my question is, are they looking at this and now they're thinking maybe this goes 2 nights next year? Maybe it goes 2 nights the next one after that.
Just like, any good promoter, like the night that BWO debuted and we wore our airbrush shirts, and Paul Heyman goes, oh, we can make some money off this, sell some shirts. Now as a promoter, they're thinking, oh, well, do an extra night. That's an extra gate.
It's an extra gate. It's not just an extra gate, man. It's an extra gate at AT&T Stadium.
Yeah, where you can easily do 100,000 fans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it can make them a lot of money. And I'll be honest, I like this better. I was not sold on the 2-night deal, but I like it better than packing. Could you imagine if this was one of those things where the show starts at 5 and it's just, and they're packing everyone in there and trying to get it done? It was terrible. The last few years of WrestleMania that had been doing that were just, by the time you got to the main event, you're like, all right, it's enough. I'm sick of this.
Yeah. And the matches get a chance to breathe. Your whole day's not shot. You don't have to, get to the building early. You don't have to worry about, missing to open a match because it takes so long to get into a stadium because they're doing security and all that stuff. And then by the time you get out of there, you're just wiped out mentally and emotionally and physically.
And then
Here,
you still have
you get a breather.
Yeah,
you know?
and you also have the opportunity to do things like you mentioned. Last night was emotional. Tonight was, you described it using the analogy of Star Wars films, but it's which was great. But that's the thing; they had that opportunity too. That we have this big main event. Bianca Belair becomes the world champion. This is incredible. This is wonderful, and that's how we end WrestleMania. But then they also got to end WrestleMania this way. So that's kind of a cool thing too, I don't know. It's exciting.
I definitely like the 2-night concept. I don't know if I don't know if it was done out of, seeing the success New Japan did with, their 2 nights, with Wrestle Kingdom.
And there's nothing wrong with looking at that and saying, hey, they did something well. Let's copy
Pro wrestling's a copycat league.
Yeah. Everything is.
Yeah.
Monday Night Raw tomorrow night will be using the same format that Eric Bischoff created for Nitro in like 95. So
pretty much.
Yeah, like let's not, it's you take something that's good. No one goes out there and does, like, every move is either a move that you learned from someone else, or you took someone else's thing and combined it with something else, or like, it's all in the presentation. And I think if they looked at it and said, hey, New Japan, this is working for fans. Fans are enjoying it. And I think it's something. Now, it's not something, this is WrestleMania. I don't want SummerSlam to be 2 nights. I don't want Survivor Series to be 2 nights, or the Royal Rumble, or any of that crap. This is WrestleMania. I think it's important to do it that way.
And you have fans who have something to do from Tuesday all the way through Sunday with, I don't know if they're going to start doing NXT Takeover 2 nights next year, but at least they might, because with NXT going to Tuesdays, you could do a Tuesday, Wednesday.
Well, it's in the way that they treated like the Andre the Giant. It was like, it's a WrestleMania SmackDown, and it's like that kind of thing. That's what I saw. Like, the first night of Takeover to me was NXT. And no matter what they were calling it, it was NXT. And then the next night, listen, when you're going to commercial break, you're not a pay-per-view. So
exactly,
it was what it was. But I think I would love to see Monday as Raw, Tuesday as NXT, Wednesday is NXT's, or maybe Wednesday is the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Thursday is NXT's pay-per-view, is their takeover. Friday is SmackDown. Saturday and Sunday is Mania.
Yeah.
That's WrestleMania week.
And then you have the Raw after
and then the
Mania.
Raw after Mania. And then the next day you have the NXT after Mania. And then we take a deep breath for 2 days. And then we've got SmackDown and we're off and running. And we're doing our thing.
Yeah, I could see them in their offices now putting travel packages together.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's the other thing you talk about. Yeah, you talk about, if you put an affordable package, it can only be so affordable when you put that many shows together, but you do a package that involves the ability to get tickets to all of it. And damn, that's incredible. That could be awesome for people. And if we're thinking about that here on MeanieMania, they're thinking about that over in Titan Towers. So, yeah. But, Meanie, this kind of concludes MeanieMania. This has been a lot of fun. This was a really cool thing for us to be able to do. Thank you to Mrs. Meanie, who felt like
it's thundering. So, and I'm hooked up to electric equipment.
Yeah,
so.
I think she felt like she had risked her life enough for us. But no, Mrs. Meanie, always a great contributor to the Mind of the Meanie. Absolutely. And was great with MeanieMania. Awesome outfits both nights. She's over. But yeah, no, man, I thought this was great. I thought this was a lot of fun.
This was awesome. Thank you to you. I have to say this because I've been saying it a lot. Josh Chernoff does a lot of the heavy lifting for Mind of the Meanie, and when we do all these specials. If I had been doing a podcast with anybody else, nobody would know about it. But thanks to the hard work of Josh Chernoff, we're able to do this simulcast on Fight, YouTube, and our Facebook all at the same time. So thank you to you. Thank you to the Pod Squad who support us. Make sure you listen to Mind of the Meanie every Monday morning, and then every Monday evening you watch us on Fight. And we couldn't do this without A, Josh, and B, the Pod Squad. So, and thank you for Mrs. Meanie for enabling me to do this post in-ring career thing and being so supportive. Without the support, we can't do this, unless people support us. So I'm very grateful to Josh, to Mrs. Meanie, and our Pod Squad.
Well, thank you very much. And there's definitely one other person that makes this work, and that's you, the Blue Meanie, because there's no Mind of the Meanie and there's no MeanieMania without the Meanie. So I thank you very much. It's very appreciated, the words that you said, and I'm just glad to be a part of something that's so much fun. And we thank all of you so much for tuning in. Like I said, Night's one, the numbers for that blew us away. And then just to see how many of you have tuned in tonight too. We're glad that, first of all, it's not 2 a.m. We're also glad that that you were able to join us. So, yeah, I think with that, Meanie, it's time that we start playing ourselves out here.
Play us out. What does that mean?
So, everybody, thank you again for making MeanieMania so much fun. Hopefully we'll be back for MeanieMania 2 next year. But we will definitely be there for you at 6 a.m. Eastern tomorrow morning with Mind of the Meanie, like we are every Monday. And as Meanie mentioned earlier, right back here on Fight at 6 p.m. Eastern time, the video version of the episode. We've got Giovanni Hamilton, amazing kid, inspirational, stopping by. And Pod Squad, thank you for all of your support. We really appreciate it. For the Blue Meanie, I'm Josh Chernoff. It's MeanieMania, baby. We'll see you next time.